everybody, and welcome to another cosplaying on a budget tutorial video. If you couldn't tell from the hammers behind me, we are doing something Harley Quinn themed again this week. That thing is a Harley Quinn inspired beanie hat. This is what it looks like, and then if you put it on, this is what it looks like on. It's very comfortable and it's very soft and it's just very awesome in general. I should say, however, that I got the pattern for the beanie part of the hat from Crafty Gemini. She has a YouTube channel where she does a whole bunch of sewing tutorials, and I got the beanie one from her beanie video tutorial. She has the templates, and you can go and download those for free, and that's basically what I use to cut out all of the pieces. But then for this project, I modified them, so I'm going to explain that later on in the how-to in this one. But if you want, you can go watch her video and just get a general idea of how to make the beanie, and I think that would help you at first because she goes into a lot more detail than I may go into. But without further ado, let's get started.
For this project, you're going to need black fleece and red fleece. You will also need some sort of stuffing. I'm using batting because I'm lazy and I didn't want to go out and buy stuffing. You will also need these little pom-poms I found at the craft store, as well as a sewing machine. Sewing machines make sewing so much easier than hand sewing, but you can still do it. You need red thread, black thread, various pins, and scissors. Lastly, you're going to need the templates from Crafty Gemini's video. I cut the long one a little bit longer here. You'll see why in a little bit, but don't worry about that right now. I also cut myself out one of the dangly parts for the jester's cap. This next step can seem pretty tedious, so just bear with it because you don't want to rush this. You're going to have to trace out and then cut out all of your pieces. Make sure you pin them before you cut them out because it'll make your life so much easier, but do that to both the black fabric and the red fabric, and we'll move on to the next step. Now with your sewing machine, you're going to want to sew one side of each piece that you cut out of these hat parts. So as you can see, I do that, and then I'm also going to sew the little dangly parts all the way around. Leave the bottom open because we're going to flip it inside out and stuff it. Doing the same here with the black. Remember, with red fleece you use red thread, and with black fleece you're going to use the black thread. This is where my project deviates from the Crafty Gemini's. You're actually going to swap one half of the colors with the other half of the colors on the headband portion, because we want our headband to have a split down the middle, red on one side and black on the other. So do that and then sew them so you have basically these little headbands that are multicolored. This part's also pretty tricky because in her video she wants you to sew the black to the black and the red to the red. In my case, I want you to sew one of the black little halves to a red half, and then the same with the other two pieces that you have. Make sure you pin it first because you want these to stay in place when you're sewing it so you don't make a mistake. So go ahead, pin them, and then you're going to sew all the way around basically a semicircle with both pieces. I'm using black thread here even though one half is red and one half is black. Now you're going to pin the headband with the beanie cap. I can't really explain very well which side's inside out and which side isn't, so you're going to want to look at Crafty Gemini's video because she explains it in a lot more detail and a lot clearer than I ever could. Once you get that done, we're going to actually sew those on after we pin them. Make sure you only sew the black half with black thread, and then switch over and do the red half with red thread. This is going to make it so the black seam doesn't bleed through and kind of distract from how awesome your hat is. Now essentially we have two halves to one whole beanie. So what you're going to want to do is pin them together, and once you get it all pinned together, you're going to take it back to the sewing machine and sew it. But please remember, red thread for the red side and black thread for the black side. Now I should mention, on the black side you're going to not want to go all the way through. You're going to want to leave about 2 to 3 inches so you can flip the beanie inside out through itself, and then go ahead and you're going to have to manually sew. Just do a little hand stitch and close up that gap. I also did a couple stitches through the top of the beanie just to tack it together so they didn't inflate on each other. We're almost done now. We just need to flip our little dangle parts right side out and then start stuffing them with all of the stuffing. You can choose if you want them to be softer, if you want them to be more sturdy. It's really up to you how you want to do this. Then go ahead and pin one half to the top of the hat and hand stitch all the way around, making sure it's secure. I did the same with the red side, but my camera battery was dying, so I couldn't film that part. The very last step is to sew the pom-poms on the end of each dingle-dangle part of the hat. And that's simply you just go in and out and in and out and in and out just a couple of times until you think it is as secure as you want it.
So I just finished the Harley Quinn beanie cap, and I think it turned out pretty well. This one covers my ears a little bit better than this one does, so if it gets extra cold, I may want to wear this one instead of this one, but I always have a preference for the first one that I made. I think that's about it for this video. If you guys liked it, please let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys have any suggestions for future videos or future projects I should try, let me know in the comment section below as well. Remember, I also linked the Crafty Gemini's video down in the doobly-doo, or the description box, whatever you guys want to call it. And yeah, take care. I'll see you in the next one.